Good evening, dear compatriots. The Armenian Unified Info Center continues its operation. Let me provide you updates from the front line. Today, from early in the morning, hostilities continued and actually have continued in all directions, including today. It was very fierce in the central line. Specifically in the north, the combat operations were offensive. There were some offensive attempts by the Azerbaijani forces which were repelled by our forces, causing them severe losses. Aviation was deployed, mostly tactical aircraft, which without any success. In the central direction, several subversive groups, actions of which also were posted by footage, tried to infiltrate into our positions and advance. After our pinpoint artillery firing, they fled away. In the southern direction, there were some hurt battles going on. Specifically, they moved more to the southern part, closer to Arak's bed. There were in some hurt points, our armed forces have stalled all attempts of advance of the adversary. No grouping succeeded to advance. They were repelled with severe losses. Air forces were not deployed. Our air defense has shot down one aircraft, about which we have already informed. In generally, the operative situation is such. The battles continue. They are not as fierce as they used to be in comparison to previous days. However, they continue some level of intensity. Mostly artillery is deployed, very few armored vehicles, multiple and many subversive groups, attacking groups, and partly also aircraft. Today, we have invited to our briefing the leaders of the two foundations. I would like, first of all, to give the floor to Mr. Arshamyan, the president of the All-Armenian Fund. Dear compatriots, today, I would like actually to reflect on several points, because on many platforms we are meeting, we see a number of questions regarding the fundraising and the expenditures made. I would like to emphasize that all the financial resources and their use is being coordinated directly in coordination with the Artsakh and Armenia's leadership. I would like to assure you that in this we are using these resources now, and we are using it for humanitarian support. I would like also to mention that due to martial law, even it is not acceptable to publish even one piece of information about one medication. It might jeopardize our overall goal. A full report about the expenditures made by the All-Armenian Fund will be published right after the peace is established. Regarding the use of the funds, which is more important than the point I mentioned earlier, is that, first of all, with your support to this pan-national movement, you are supporting, you are helping us to organize humanitarian aid and to deliver it. And more importantly, with the financial support you provide, you enable enable the government of Artsakh and Armenia to use the savings from the humanitarian assistance to very important spheres. Be sure that this is a very crucial part of your donations. You are actually covering the humanitarian part, the rear, and you are also giving an opportunity to use these funds for very crucial purposes. Another important question I would like to reflect on you know, these questions are being asked over and over again, is whether the financial resources collected by our local units arrive at our bank account. I assure you that most of the funds collected so far have already reached our account, and these funds are already being used. Generally, when donating, people use different formats, credit cards or cash donation. There are some donations in form of immovables or in form of securities and so on. At the moment these funds are materialized by our local units, whenever this money arrives on their accounts, they immediately send it to the Pan-Armenian Fund. So I would like to ask you not to doubt this vital collaboration which has been already created, has been established, and is actually moving forward in a good pace. Don't put at any doubt the activities of our local units. The reports will be published after the peace is established. However, the key topic I would like to address today is my call to all Armenians. Today, I would like to officially announce that we are commencing a new movement. All of us. We have called it a national movement 2.0. This will elevate to a new level this Armenia diaspora relations. It will facilitate to consolidate all Armenian funds and will help to ensure permanent inflow of funds into Armenia and into Artsakh. We need to become one fist, and the engagement of each and every one of you in this fist will be crucial. We have called this movement as also 50+. This is our new logo. And this movement, to be frank, started just randomly in different communities in Los Angeles, in the eastern coast, in Belgium. Our compatriots asked us to make it possible not to make just one-time donation, but to get registered on the website of the foundation and make monthly donations to the fund. Just imagine that if 1 million people would join this movement, in every month we will have around 50 million in the foundation. If we take as a minimum criteria $50, and annually we will have around $500 million. Do not just think that this 50 is something specific. It is symbolic. The principle is as follows: 50 plus 50 plus 50 and so on. And by this, we will be able to really give a new impetus to this fundraising. The fundraising is not going to end, both in forms of one-time payments. We are just trying to give a new impetus to it and to make this fundraising more organized with regard to humanitarian aid, humanitarian support, and to rear support. This will simply make it possible to revive Artsakh. Let's come together, let's stand by each other's side, move the mountains, and thereby have a well-developed, strong, stable state, a stable homeland which will serve everyone. Thank you, Mr. Arshamyan. I also call on you. I have called many times, both publicly. I have received different calls, different emails about how they can help. For us, it is very important to support also the Servicemen's Insurance Fund, where also we accumulate funds, and we actually need to collect funds because we have victims, we have wounded, and their families need support. Therefore, now I would like to give the floor to Mr. Varuzhan Avetikyan. Good evening, dear compatriots. I am Varuzhan Avetikyan. I am the director of the Servicemen's Insurance Fund. The fund was established in 2017, and its objective has been and still is to ensure the financial stability of the families of the heroes who have fallen on our borders. Over the course of these 4 years, every citizen of Armenia and every employee working in Armenia has paid 1,000 AMD every month, which is around $2. Thanks to this 1,000 drams or $2, over the course of these years, we have been able to accumulate 30 million AMD, which will be fully used to cater the dignified living of the families, wives, and children of the fallen heroes of the war. I will also tell you information about how we are making our payments and how you can donate. At the moment, it is very important for our compatriots, both from Armenia and from diaspora, to make donations to our fund because, unfortunately, the war is not over yet. Of course, one day it will be over. Definitely, it will end in our victory. But before that bright day comes, our servicemen on the border, the brave men and women, they need to feel secure that their families are financially stable and not in need. We are providing compensation both to the families of fallen victims and also to the soldiers who have been wounded or injured and have first or second category degree disability. We are compensating also the soldiers, the missing soldiers about whom we have no information, in order to give you an overview of this compensation. It may seem that this 60 million USD we have accumulated so far is a big amount, but for every family we provide from 58 million to 81 million AMD, approximately from 120,000 USD and more. So this compensation, when giving these compensations, we deploy two forms. First is the one-time lump payment to the family or to the disabled soldier in the amount of 10 million if he is missing or he has fallen or has a second-degree disability. And then from there on, we pay in the name of every family, we open up a separate account in the banks. We cooperate with Artsakh Bank, Conversbank, and High Business Bank, Arm Business Bank. In these three banks, we open bank accounts and we transfer these amounts from 100,000 to 300,000 every month. Even more so, if the soldier has 3 and more children, there will be additional 100,000 payment if they have 3 and more children. So, in dollar terms, we are paying from 200 up to 600 or even 800 USD monthly payment. This is a long-term obligation undertaken by our foundation vis-à-vis our soldiers. Now, a few words about donations. In order to make your donation, you can visit 1000 Plus AM website, which is operational since 2017, and over the course of these years, it has collected this 1,000 AMDs monthly as well as other donations. You can input your card information. You can also attach your card to our website for monthly payments, and every month the amount you would like to contribute, either in euro, dollar, or AMD, would be transferred to our account. You can also make bank transfers to our foundation. All our accounts are at the with the central bank, the amounts that we receive, because this is a fund, this is a foundation, these amounts are managed by our staff to the benefit of the foundation, and whenever we accrue income, again, this comes to replenish our resources. We have few staff members, I and the others, we are all working on a pro bono basis. Every single penny you transfer to the fund is not being used for any other purpose but compensation to the soldiers and their families. I urge all of you, over these weeks we were able to to raise 4.5 million USD. 80% of these contributions were received from Armenia and then from US and Russia. Also, strange enough, a small country where we have a small community, it's Cyprus. They are in the top 5 with around 240,000 USD contribution. My call to our diaspora compatriots, to the employers, to the businessmen, as well as to the citizens of Armenia, be generous, because your generosity will enable us to precisely, for 20 years in a row, support and provide insurance compensations to our servicemen and their families. Just briefly about a new initiative we have started, and then I will sum up. We have started a new initiative. It is called Making One Two. Within this initiative, every business entity or employer operating in Armenia is given an opportunity to double this 1,000 AMDs paid by their employees. So businesses have the opportunity to adapt to this. So we can make this 1,000, we can make it 2,000, and then last year we received 7.5 billion AMD with this 1,000 AMD contributions. So if all businesses join in, then we will be able to make this 7.5 million to make it 30. And with a little bit more contribution, we will be able to achieve added value, to bring added value, and then our servicemen will be sure that whenever some fatalities or some accidents occur, their families are in good hands. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Arshamyan. Thank you, Mr. Avetikyan. We have questions, and there are some questions also addressed to you, so let me read them in a row. First, the question addressed to you, and then to me. Question to Mr. Arshamyan. Will there be another tele-marathon or not? First of all, to add on what Mr. Avetikyan said, it's a good suggestion to double this 1,000 drams. So our foundation, as an employer, we will double this 1,000 AMDs contributed by our employees. And about the telethon, actually, it will take place. It will take place on November 26th. However, let me tell you that in this period, there will be also similar smaller scale fundraising events, and also this month one such event will take place, and all these events will take place before the main telethon, and then we will sum all these results and outcomes during the main telethon. I am sure that we should raise as much as we were able to do during this short-term fundraising effort. Thank you. Any questions?
Շնորհակալություն
Thank you.
Երվանդ Մարյան,
Երվանդ
Հայաստան
Մարայան,
Արցախ մայկական ամսագրի
Armenia Artsakh diaspora newspaper journalist. These days there are also some efforts undertaken to ensure the security of the borders of Armenia. The question is how the mobilization of volunteer fighters is being coordinated by the mayors and the municipality leaders. And what are the mechanisms to send the diaspora Armenians who came here as a volunteer, to send them to front? Thank you for the question. Local self-government authorities are helping and coordinating this volunteering effort and also the mobilization. But the main body that is in charge of it are the military commissariat, which are not called as such. These bodies are working with the local self-government authorities, with municipalities. In any case, their final mobilization is performed by this commissariat. Those Armenians who come from diaspora, but they are not citizens of Armenia, we cannot mobilize them. But I have some facts that some people went to the front, but generally we make them return because there are some legal issues. One needs to be a conscript. There are also age limitations. So everything is done within the limits of legal regulation. Question from Nazanik Saroyan. Many times it was stated that the combat or battle site shouldn't be photo or video recorded. So are there clear cases when the troops or detachments suffered from such publication or posts of footages? It's not an urge only. It is prohibited by clear orders. I cannot say that some detachments have suffered, but I'm sure, yes, the troops do suffer of it. It's being punished, sanctioned up to criminal cases are opened. So Haykak, today the Prime Minister opened about the need to set up volunteering groups through the municipalities, political parties, the governmental organizations. Back in the 90s, this was clear. Now, why is this burden put on the militia? It's not the case that all the burden is put on the shoulders of the volunteers. No, it's not the case. The burden is not even on the reservists. Both the volunteers and the reservists, they are additional, complementary and supportive. The main burden is on the regular army. New Armenia TV, Azerbaijani have actually drawn their pics into Muslim church, and they have tried to blame Armenians for it. Actually, this is not the first case. They are making such statements also even on the level of Aliyev. It's not something surprising to see. As is known, different municipality heads are calling to set up volunteer groups. Volunteering squads are being formed. How and by whom they are going to be coordinated? How is the Defense Army going to coordinate them? Definitely, the military commissariat and the central unit of mobilization will be in charge of coordination. No problem with that. Please tell us what are the activities of our doctors, physicians on the front. they are really working very hard, especially with regard to shrapnel wounds. There are many shrapnel wounds because artillery is working heavily. Often the physicians are not struggling to save lives, but also they are disposed to fire. You know that Martakert military hospital was struck. There were also cases when military or medical aid vehicles, the ones which were traveling from the front line to the medical facility, these vehicles were shot, and they are working very hard. And glory to all our physicians, nurses, and both to their work, to their effort. They are working with immense effort and saving many lives thanks to their professionalism. This many questions. If there are no more questions, thank you very much. Our troops are fighting heroically every day, 24 hours. We are resolute. We will win. This much.